Hi, I'm Miss Black. Welcome to my psychology class. You're here for citizenship credit, aren't you? Sure, okay. Right, well today we are going to be learning about B.F. Skinner and his theory of operant conditioning. Do you know what that is? Well, he said, quote, "The consequences of an act affect the probability of its occurring again. This is called operant conditioning." Would you mind reading this for me? You can read, right?
A method of learning that occurs before the punishments of behavior.
This is called operant conditioning. You make the right choice, you receive a reward. You make the wrong choice, you get a consequence. You seem a little bored. Do you want to play a game?
Right choice.
Not really. Okay. 2 pieces of paper. Choose a color.
What was that for?
2 pieces of paper. Choose a color.
Oh, pink.
There are 2 pieces of paper. Choose a color. Good decision. Pink was the wrong choice. Frowny face. When you touch it, you get slapped. Green is the right choice. When you touch it, you get candied. Wrong choice means a consequence. The right choice means a reward. This is the theory of operant conditioning. Now, if you could choose, since you know the outcome, which color would you choose? You choose green, right? That's because you were trained to see that green means candy and pink means a slap. This is called operant conditioning. Thanks, B.F. Skinner.
Can pigeons read? This one gives every indication, because he's been taught to distinguish between 2 words and to behave appropriately. He's learned his different response to each sign by being rewarded with food. So the bird isn't acting independently. Its behavior is shaped by controlling its environment. The first task was to isolate an individual piece of behavior and see how that could be changed. Skinner did this by keeping individual pigeons at about 3/4 of their normal weight, so that the birds were always hungry, and food could be used as an automatic reward. The pigeon was studied in a uniform box, one it quickly grew used to. One piece of behavior, pecking a coloured disc, was measured on a graph. The pigeon learned that pecking the disc produced a reward. Then the behavior of pecking could be studied in relation to how often that reward was offered, or in Skinner's terms, what was the schedule of reinforcement.
The main thing is what we call schedules of reinforcement. Reinforcement is what the layman calls reward, and you can schedule it so that a reward occurs every now and then when a pigeon does something. We usually use a response with a pigeon pecking a little disc, a little spot on the wall, and you can reinforce with food, but you don't reinforce every time. Perhaps every 10th time, or perhaps only once every minute or something like that. There are a very large number of schedules, and they have their special effects. And there is a good example of how you can move from the pigeon to the human case, because one of the schedules which is very effective with rats or pigeons is what we call the variable ratio schedule, and that is at the heart of all gambling devices, and has the same effect. The pigeon can become a pathological gambler just as a person can. Now, the fact that we found that out with pigeons and could prove it by removing and changing the schedule makes it easy for us to interpret the case with the human subject. We don't say that the human subject gambles to punish himself, as the Freudians might say, or gambles because he feels excited when he does so. Nothing of the sort. People gamble because of the schedule of the reinforcement that follows. And this is true of all gambling systems. They all have variable ratios built into them. So what we've learned from the pigeon, it made it possible to interpret this vast field very effectively.
And I will try to pick out some particular pattern of behavior and make it a more frequent part of the repertoire of the bird. Right, fine. This bird has been already conditioned to eat when the magazine sounds and the light flashes. Now we'll just watch its behavior a bit. It's not doing anything in particular, you see, but I'm going to try to get it to do something. Suppose I shape up the behavior of making a complete turn. What I do is simply, as I did then, to wait for some part of that behavior. There's more of it, you see. You can see that the effect is instantaneous. I'm waiting for it to turn counterclockwise now. And then I reinforce that movement. And I wait for a more pronounced movement than that. It's got to be more than that. There we go, all the way around. The two pigeons are at either end of a small ping-pong table. One pigeon pecks the ball as it comes toward him and knocks it toward the other pigeon. Other pigeon pecks the ball back across the table. If it goes past one pigeon, the other pigeon can eat, and if it goes the other way, the other pigeon eats. So that there is it's a real game. The pigeon is reinforced for a cross-court shot if that is what gets the ball past his opponent.